Why do we travel? Maybe to feel our pulse shift, to wake up somewhere where morning sounds nothing like home. Tokyo does that. It greets you with 1,000 doors sliding open at once, with trains that breathe like clockwork, with vending machines that glow like small shrines. At first it feels like precision, but stay a little longer and you'll find softness tucked inside the speed paper lanterns swaying, someone humming at a crosswalk, silence on a rooftop. Tokyo is a place of quiet contrasts, where tradition nods politely to neon, and chaos somehow keeps perfect time. You don't just see this city, you move with it. And if you're lucky, it moves something in you too. Our budget adventurer touched down and picked up a Tokyo subway 72-hour pass for $11, the golden key to the city's vast underground rhythm. Lodging? A bunk at Kyosan Tokyo Origami in Asakusa, just $50 a night, nestled beside temples and late-night snack stalls. That's $150 total for 3 nights, and every penny carries a story. It's not polished, but it's alive, with rooftop views, strange toothbrush etiquette, and the occasional 3 a.m. ukulele. For a traveler chasing big stories on small bills, it's the perfect launchpad into Tokyo's layered maze. Our first morning started early, sunlight slipping through a frosted hostel window and footsteps echoing down the hallway. Breakfast came from Yanaka Coffee Shop, $2.20, quiet and close by. With the day open wide, the first stop was Ueno Park, where paths curved beneath cherry trees and a lone musician plucked a koto beside a pond. The Tokyo National Museum, $7.30, was next. Dim rooms of armor and ancient ink, each display lit like a secret. Lunch at Matsuya, $7.30, came fast. The afternoon led to Ameya Yokocho Market, where tangled wires framed shops shouting for attention. A lucky cat keychain, $3, and vintage Ghibli pin, $5, went into the backpack. Dinner at Koko Ichibanya, $8.80. Then one last breath of Tokyo from the rooftop. Quiet, flickering, alive. Day 2 began with footsteps on tatami and a warm hostel shower that only worked on its 3rd try. Breakfast was from Tully's Coffee Shinjuku, $8.80, just before stepping into the wave of commuters. The morning unfolded at the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building. Free observation decks towering above the city, where even the traffic looked thoughtful. Next came Shinjuku Gyoen National Garden for $4, a surreal pocket of peace, with koi ponds and footbridges stitched between French and Japanese landscapes. Lunch at Nakao, totaling $5.90, was quick and quiet. In the afternoon, wandering the alleyways of Golden Gai felt like walking through storybook panels. Narrow stairs, paper signs, an occasional bark from somewhere behind a curtain. Dinner was at Ichiran Ramen, $7.15, eaten alone in a booth, with only the sound of slurping and soft jazz. The last morning began slower, with breakfast at Excelsior Cafe Ginza, $8.80. Sunlight falling through tall windows as businessmen murmured over newspapers. First stop, TeamLab Planets Tokyo for $30, where visitors waded barefoot through mirrored waterhalls and walked beneath floating orchids. It felt less like a museum, more like a lucid dream. Lunch from Tenya, $9.50, came hot and fast. In Odaiba, the afternoon brought skyline views and a spontaneous detour into a VR dome experience for $21.15, where waves crashed and robots danced in every direction. Outside, the Rainbow Bridge shimmered in the breeze. As the sky dimmed, a final dinner at Pepper Lunch, $10.95, marked the end. Ordered by touchscreen, sizzling on an iron plate. The train back to Asakusa felt both familiar and bittersweet. Level 1, Budget Adventurer. Grand total, $300.85. Tokyo opened its layers generously, from temple shadows and street markets to glowing museums and rooftop stillness. Who says big travel takes big money? This journey proved otherwise. Smart choices, rich memories, and room to spare. After 3 nights of bunk beds and bath slippers, the next chapter opened with quiet doors and private rides. Tokyo unfolded differently from the backseat of Go and DD, its polished ride apps sliding past traffic with practiced grace. A $300 ride budget gave space to breathe between stops. Evenings settled at Hotel Ryomaken Tokyo in Nihonbashi, where the elevator opened to low lights, soft sheets, and heated tile beneath your feet. $210 per night, $630 total. A trip no longer stitched together. Now, it glided. The day opened with breakfast at Path in Tomagaya, totaling $29.20, tucked behind a wooden door where the sunlight barely reached the floor. First stop was the Nezu Museum, $9.50, where quiet hallways framed delicate ink scrolls, and a garden path wandered through moss and bamboo like a painted dream. From there, a short ride led to the Q Asakura House for 70 cents. a preserved wooden residence that whispered of another century. Tatami rooms, hidden courtyards, the scent of old cedar. Lunch was at Seirinkan, $25.55, an industrial chic pizzeria with brass lamps and no menu in English. The afternoon unraveled inside T-Site's Daikanyama bookstore, where shelves curved like sculpture and jazz played beneath a skylight. Dinner came from Café Lisette in Daikanyama for $19, soft-spoken and slow, as the sky faded behind the window panes. The second day began with breakfast at Little Darling Coffee Roasters in Aoyama for $22, where dogs lounged on the patio and the espresso machine hissed like punctuation. The morning led to the Hamarikyu Gardens, $2.20, where tidal ponds mirrored cranes and skyscrapers in the same frame. From there, a boat down the Sumida River for $12.55 drifted under bridges and beside silent piers, the wind carrying conversations from deck to deck. Lunch was at Curry Up Harajuku, coming in at $17, fast and tucked behind a rusted yellow sign. The afternoon unfolded at the Watari Museum of Contemporary Art, $8.75, where minimalist exhibits spilled across strange stairwells. Dinner came from Ginza West Aoyama Garden, $29.20, refined and hidden, with quiet suited waitstaff and softly clinking glass. The city faded into warm light. The last day began quietly at Cafe Kitsune near Omotesando, $18.25, where clean lines met forest light and nobody rushed the morning. First stop, Tokyo Opera City Art Gallery, $8.75, a soaring space tucked above the concert hall, where abstract canvases stretched into the ceiling. Lunch followed at Aoyama Flower Market Tea House for $28.50, where vines dangled between teacups and servers moved like florists. In the afternoon, shopping unfolded inside Klaska Gallery and Shop Du, known for its handmade ceramics and linen goods. A hand-thrown seke set and a minimalist brass bookmark, $69.35, made their way into the traveler's bag. The final stop was Happo on Garden, $3.65, just before sunset. Bonsai trees in silent rows, koi ponds lit from beneath. Dinner at L'Atelier de Joël Robuchon, totaling $62, closed the evening like velvet. Level 2, level up tier. Grand total, $1,114. A trip that never felt rushed, loud, or ordinary. It was thoughtful, still, and full of texture. No lineups, no hostels, no scramble. Just a city met with intention. And for half the budget, it still felt like a kind of luxury. The subway was cute, so were the shared showers. But this time, the trip began with a private Bentley flying spur, stocked with citrus water and silence. At $3,000 a day, the city moved at our pace. Over 3 days, that's $9,000 well spent for never having to look at a transit map. The destination, the Tokyo edition, Toranomon, where curtains respond to voice commands and the bathtub has a skyline view, $2,000 per night, $6,000 total. No check-in lines, no street noise, just luxury. The morning began at New York Grill in the Park Hyatt Tokyo, $140. One of the city's most iconic breakfast views, perched 52 stories above Shinjuku. From there, it was on to a private viewing at the Mori Art Museum, $100, with rooftop access to Roppongi Hills Sky View, cleared for an uninterrupted panorama. Lunch was reserved at Sukiyabashi Jiro Roppongi, $390, the Michelin-starred sushi counter known around the world. In the afternoon, the lights dimmed inside TeamLab Borderless at Azabudai Hills, $150, booked privately for a gallery experience without crowds or phones. The day closed at Narisawa, $260, where the tasting menu tells stories of Japan's changing seasons, and where every course feels like a quiet performance. The Bentley waited outside, engine still warm. Day 2 began with breakfast at the Lounge by Aman Tokyo, $130, a sleek hideaway known for its panoramic views and quiet morning rituals. From there, a private guide led the way into Meiji Jingu Shrine for $100, where a special entrance allowed access to inner garden areas typically closed to the public. Lunch followed at Tempura Kondo in Ginza, totaling $280, an intimate 2-star experience that draws dignitaries and chefs alike. The afternoon brought a new perspective with a private helicopter tour over Tokyo Bay for $2,000, circling the Rainbow Bridge, Skytree, and Shibuya Crossing as the city shimmered below. Dinner was set at Florilège, $400, a globally acclaimed restaurant known for its innovative French-Japanese tasting menus. The ride back cut through Ginza's golden hour. In the rearview mirror, a skyline dressed for evening. The final morning rose slowly over Shibuya. Breakfast was served at C'est La Vie Tokyo, $110, a rooftop retreat where the city shimmered behind floor-to-ceiling glass. From there, a private hour unfolded inside the Nezu Museum's tea pavilion, $180. Reserved in advance for stillness and garden views, known only to a few. Lunch followed at Ukaite Omotesando, $320. A teppanyaki experience famous for its theatrical calm. In the afternoon, the elevators opened at Ginza 6, where a stop inside Cartier led to diamond cufflinks, $4,500. One fitting, one swipe, one lifetime of compliments. The sun slipped lower as cocktails arrived at Sky Lounge Stellar Garden for $90, high above the skyline. Dinner was reserved at Joel Robuchon restaurant in Ebisu for $500, where every course felt like a curtain call. Level 3, VIP Luxury. Grand total, $27,825. We didn't just visit Tokyo, we floated above it. From Michelin-Stars to rooftop landings, from silent gallery wings to diamond counters in Ginza, this wasn't a getaway. It was a curated memory in silk and glass. The Bentley never asked where to go. The room always knew when we'd return. And the city? It opened like a lacquered box, one exquisite layer at a time. 3 ways to see Tokyo. 1 city, 3 stories. Maybe you'd stretch your dollars like the budget adventurer, chasing wonder on foot and rooftop, or slow it down like the level-up traveler, with time to pause and places that breathe. Or maybe you'd take the VIP seat where the skyline waits for no one, and neither do you. Which path would you choose? Drop us a comment, hit subscribe, and stay tuned, because next time we're heading somewhere just as unforgettable.